Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the stream. On what I would love to call a beautiful Friday, but the weather isn't so great where I am, but all the same, a Friday is a Friday is a Friday, and it's hard to complain about that. So hopefully you guys are all doing well and enjoying your Friday evening as we look forward to the weekend. And hopefully it is a weekend that you actually get to have off. My heart goes out to all of you that may or may not have to work for a living during the weekends, but just the same, hopefully we'll have a good time this evening. We are back again with some more BTA, continuing the campaign that we've had going on for quite a little bit now. But we're going to pick up where we left off, and let's get over to it. So again, should be no surprise to any of you that are already familiar and have been around for a little while. We're sitting in the same campaign, same system, and all the same problems. Got some battle armor to fix up, got a lot of folks that are laid up in the hospital currently, so we'll have to get all those things taken care of before we actually get started in earnest today. With that being said, I did want to look at just a few things in the mech bay. Also, and for anybody in chat that has been paying attention, I'll have to ask you guys if the quality of the game looks a little better today, or if it looks a little worse. A persistent issue that I've had with the stream overall, going all the way back to the very first stream of this campaign, is that there were some gamma issues, and I don't know how bad it looked on the stream, but I know in the recordings it was pretty bad. And I have been working the last few weeks trying to narrow down the source of that and get it sorted out, and I think we finally have. At least on my end, I'm not seeing it, so hopefully it looks better on your end as well, but if it doesn't, let me know. But yeah, so I want to begin with the mech bay, and that's why I brought it up, because it was most egregious when we went into the mech bay. It was almost like there was a, I don't know, like a film grain or something over the screen, and it made everything fuzzy and washed out, so hopefully that's not the case. But because we're going to be kind of sitting on our hands for a little while we wait for our people to be healed up, I figured we might want to do some refitting on a couple of our bigger mechs just to potentially get some work done on them. I can words. So that they can be working on that in the mech bay while we wait for our people to recover. One of the things that I had written down on my list was to have a look at these binary lasers, which do cause a little bit more heat when you use them, but on the flip side, they do a little bit more damage than your typical laser. So like, for example, we have an ER large laser here that does 45. If we had the binary, it would do a little more. Here we have an ER medium laser, it does 25 damage. The binary version does 35, but obviously generates a little bit more heat. So that was one of the things that I was thinking about, especially here for the Centurion, where we want to try to maximize our damage at close range. So let me see. The binary laser is 2 tons, and the ER medium is only 1. So we would have to try to find a ton somewhere that we could remove in order to fit a binary laser in this thing. We could potentially do that by reducing armor on like this arm, because there's no parts, there's no weapons or any other systems in this arm, so we could reduce the armor here. Oh, that's fine, Sneaky Soak. Do what you gotta do. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe binary laser. Maybe not. I don't know exactly where we drop a ton. If we dropped all the armor on the left arm, because technically we don't need the left arm. The only problem is if we take all the armor off and then it gets destroyed, we have to pay for the fix. And then we also potentially get our pilots injured in the process when that arm gets destroyed. So there's a part of me that wants to remove armor, but there's a part of me that also knows how dangerous that can be if we do it. I am doing well, Sneaky Silk. I hope you're doing well as well. Well. But yeah, hopefully you are doing all right on a Friday. I know I am. Not as good as I could be. Like I said at the beginning, the weather's a little icky, but otherwise, not too bad. Another thing that I wanted to do is potentially I really want to start using some of these double heat sinks that we have, but we don't have any of the double heat sink kits. So even though I have some of the heat sinks, we don't have any of the kits to use them. And really, the only mech that I think really needs double heat sinks at the moment would be the Treb, because it just runs hot naturally. But everything else that we're fielding currently doesn't really have any issues with heat, so I don't know. I guess we could check the storage and see if there's anything that we can build. I don't think there was. I'm pretty sure we checked for this last time around and determined that there was not, in fact, anything that we could put together. Yeah, I can believe that. So this goes back to I don't know if it has a name, but it's a phrase that I've always kind of held to be true, and that is anonymity plus audience equals asshole. And you find that so often on the internet, where you give a random asshat a keyboard and the ability to say whatever they want while facing zero consequences, and it's going to be a bad time every time. I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately, there are too many people. I'm sorry. There are too many kids out there that were raised by TikTok and Fortnite, and as a direct result, don't know how to be a decent human being. That's why rule 2 in this channel is freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Oh yeah, no. And hats off to you, Stiggy Silk, because I think moderators, especially Twitch moderators, are some of the most unappreciated folks out there. I have spent a long time on Twitch. I have also done some moderation myself, but I gave that up because most streamers will not pay their moderators anything. It's a labor of love, but you gotta really love the person you're moderating for, because it is absolutely a thankless job. But anyway, I don't think there's really much that we can do in the mech bay. I mean, we kind of we've had the same issue for a while where we have some decent mechs, but we don't necessarily have a lot of good equipment to put in them. So as much as I would like to do some work while we wait for our people to get out of the hospital, there's not really anything to work on. And good to see you, Typhoon. I do recognize you from the YouTubes, and I do think it's great to see you catching us on a live stream for the first time. I will say, though, however, that if you are just catching our stream for the first time, we're actually quite a bit farther ahead here on the live side than we are on the YouTube, so it might be a little bit jarring, but if you're familiar with BattleTech and all, you should be able to catch up pretty quickly. But let's see. We'll go ahead and fast forward. Actually, I'll tell you what, because if I remember right, there's nothing going on in this system. We didn't have very many decent jobs, and there was basically, yeah, nothing for sale in the store. So that's something we can do to help maximize our time. If we're gonna have to wait for people to get out of the hospital anyway, we might as well consider traveling to another system. So, first thing I want to do is make sure that wherever we're going has got manufacturing. And we'll see what we've got in range. Good lord. 3.5 skulls. No thank you. I don't feel like getting blown up today. We could go to Zanzibar, but we've been there recently and they didn't have much. We've got Muradox, which is also a Capellan planet. It's 3 skulls. I don't really want to be traveling further out of the center of the galaxy. You want to try to get closer to the center, not farther away. Columbine, that's a 3 skull. Madras is also pretty high up there. Like, I'm looking for something that's in our difficulty range, but also has manufacturing. Let's see. We could go to Karasa. That was 2.5 skulls and has manufacturing. We got Borden. I don't know. Decisions. And the only reason that I'm even considering this right now is because we do have a little bit of extra money from having sold a bunch of equipment. So we have a little bit of liquid funds that we can play with, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money in travel. So this is 90K, 15 days. I think we take the chance. I don't particularly like working for Capellans, but we're going to have to get further in before we get away from them. We could even potentially consider heading out into Merrick space at some point. We'll just have to see how the cards fall. But yeah, we'll go to Karvasa. It'll take us 15 days and 90K in travel. Hopefully we'll find something decent at the shop when we get there. And that'll give us at least a little bit of time to get our people healed up. Let's see. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be able to turn those cutscenes off, but I don't remember how to do it. So I have to escape through them every time. But I think this is 2 or 3 jumps, so shouldn't take us too long to get where we're going. I think that's another thing that we've been doing in the campaign so far that has been hurting us is being a little too attached to a single specific system. Yeah, I'm having to hit escape. It doesn't auto-skip in BTA, or if there's an option for that, I have not found it. It might be in the INI settings. It's not a huge deal. Let's see. Kringle's Killers. Oh, this should be interesting. The static clears from the comm unit, revealing a wide face with rosy cheeks that you can only describe as jolly. Commander, you don't know me, but I've been keeping tabs on you for some time now. Of course, I keep tabs on everyone, aho-ho. How else am I supposed to find out who's been naughty and who's been nice? Where was I? Ah, yes. You've heard the rumors. Every year around this time, someone reports supplies showing up or disappearing right when needed to get to one side or another to stand down. It's about balance, rewarding the good and punishing the bad. Even the great houses check their Black Ops units for fear of antagonizing Kringle's Killers. Now here is your role. Every year, I seek out a highly rated mercenary unit. Spoiler alert, we're not highly rated. Every year, I seek out a highly rated mercenary unit to sharpen up my people before the holidays. Bring your best units to face me. I'll even cover your damages at the end. Best me and you'll find a special present under your tree. What do you say? Darius pulls you aside, practically hopping up and down with excitement. Commander, we all know the story of Kringle's Killers. This is a chance I never thought we'd see, to face off against a legend. Please, can we do it? Please, please, please? Like, he's offering to repair any damages. This is basically a duel with 0 risk. I mean, I guess there's a risk that maybe our pilots could get killed if we're really unlucky, but I don't see any reason not to take this mission. I mean, I have no idea how difficult it is, and we might just get stomped into the ground, but if he's offering to cover any expenses, what's the downside? Screw it. I mean, who am I to turn down Santa Claus? I mean, I hesitate to say Saint Nick because that could be easily misconstrued as Clannertug. But, yeah, I say we accept the contract. Why not? A unique contract. We would be honored to test ourselves against your legendary team. Hello, and a very merry battle it shall be indeed. If you win, I'll give you my trusty old sleigh, a customized Goliath. Well, that's not as exciting as I thought it would be. A unique contract named Kringle's Killers has been added to the command center. No lasting consequences. I don't know, I think that counts as lasting consequences. Let's visit the store first, since after all, that was kind of the whole reason that we came out here. Let's see. Vehicles and battle armor, same old story. Could potentially look at going for some of the mag shots, the Gauss rifles for our battle armor. But mostly I want to see what they've got in terms of potential equipment I was talking about potentially getting our hands on a double heatsink kit for the Trem. I see they have some double heat sinks for sale, but I have not seen any kits yet. Wait, what? Lower leg Kung Fu, lower leg MMA. Kicks do 10% more damage, and kicks do 5% more stability damage. I mean, no, resist the urge. Resist the urge. So I'm curious about this, and I want to check with you guys, because maybe you know more than I do about this, but I want to see. I've seen these, like, permanent contracts for a light shredder turret airdrop, right? And it says this is a permanent contract for purchasing the right to airdrop a turret. And it lets us field the turret using the turret airdrop. The contract is permanent and does not expire. Does this mean that for 275,000, I can basically just drop a turret every mission from now on? Because if so, that seems hilariously overpowered if we bought more than one. Am I reading this right? Like, am I understanding correctly that we would then be able to drop a turret on every mission? Because I haven't tested it. But I'm curious how this, because we also have, like, the tank airdrop beacon, which is obviously worth a lot more, but, like, does that mean I can drop a tank every mission for free? Do I get to keep the tank? I don't know. I may have to test this outside of the stream and maybe do some offline playing and just test it without saving and see what happens, because I'm genuinely curious. But let's see. Looking at the ammo that they've got available, again, nothing out of the ordinary here. Although some heap ammo for an AC-10. Well, we don't have an AC-10 right now, so best not to worry about it just yet. Sniper cannon is tempting. But yeah, I think we just avoid anything in the shop and let's head to the command center. Instead of faffing around for another 30 minutes, let's go get in a fight with Santa Claus. Yikes. Yikes. Look at this. 3.5 skulls. Yeah, this is BTA, so, I mean, your guess is as good as mine as to how much this would transfer over from Rogue Tech. So let's see, our primary objective is to take out Commander Kringle himself. However, he will likely be protected by 2 lances of quad mechs. 2 lances! What? What? So we're gonna be potentially fighting 9 mechs, 8 of which are quads? I mean, if it is permanent, maybe we need to buy that contract after all, because I didn't realize how much trouble we were getting ourselves into. Again, it sounds like it's no risk, but even so, that's a pretty tough ask. Let's go to the store. I think we'll just do it, because for the permanent contract, they're only asking what, it was like 300k or something like that. Let me see. Permanent contract for a light shredder turret. I don't know what a light shredder turret is. It doesn't say what weapons it has. But for 275, it's a permanent thing. I say we take it and try it out. Because I got a feeling we're going to need some extra firepower on this mission regardless. And we won't get as much money back if we end up selling it, but it'll give us a chance to test it out. In the meantime, let's throw down with Santa Claus. Let's spread some holiday cheer in the form of high-yield ordnance. You know what, Darius? For once in your life, I agree. So we'll take out the lance, as we typically do. Let me see. Oh, put Quagmire in the Galleon. I would like to take the Scorpion as well, but we don't have anybody uninjured that we can put in there. And it is a Scorpion, so it'd probably get one-timed immediately anyway. And our battle armor pilot is also injured. Man. Two SRM6s and two Flamers. That's actually not bad. Typhoon, it depends on the model, but quad mechs typically fall into two categories. They are either very light and agile, or they're very heavy and heavily armed. So there's not really a lot of middle ground with quads. It just depends on what we're getting ourselves into. And based on the skull rating for this mission, they'll probably be on the heavier side. I really feel like we should have battle armor for this one, though, just to be able to tie up at least one mech. But we may have to go in without it. Because I really don't want to hire more pilots. We already have, again, and I said this last stream, but we have several backup pilots, and because our vehicles keep getting destroyed, they keep ending up in medbay. I think we'll just go with what we got and see what happens. Yeah, quads can be really good, or they can be really bad. It just depends. And so, I mean, this mission could turn out to be way easier than it looks, and it could turn out to be a ball buster, which, I mean, I guess is good for me, because I got nothing to bust in that regard, but even so, screw it. As long as the old man keeps up with his end of the bargain and actually pays to replace any losses, then, again, I see no downside. We take our chances, maybe we win. If we do, we get a reward. If we don't lose anything. Or so the description leads me to believe. But we will see. It's really weird, too, because again, like, something about this campaign, I don't know if they've just added a lot of events since the last time I played BTA, because it's been, before I started up this campaign, it had been 6 or 8 months or so since the last time I had played BattleTech. So I don't know if they've just added a lot of events since the last time I've played, or if I'm just rolling a lot of these, like, really goofy events that I've never seen before, because, like, we got the Cats event, which apparently has been in BTA for a while, but I had never seen it before then. And then now we're getting a Christmas theme mission, which I've never seen before. So I don't know. It's weird. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting to see all this new stuff pop up. All right, should be in the area. And it's an assassination mission, so we're probably going to start in contact by default, because that's usually the way assassination missions go. Yeah, that does appear to be the case. Okay, so Tundra is going to give us better heat dissipation, better sensor readings, but worse visuals because it's nighttime, and holy... We've only got readings on one mech so far, and it's a 70-ton quad. So as I suspected, it looks like they're going to be on the heavier side. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that this other quad is probably in the same range. I shouldn't expect anything less from a lance calling itself Caribou. So yeah, this might be a real short mission. Again, our heaviest mech is a 50-ton trebuchet, so it ain't looking good. But let's see. Okay, Stu is already in cover. These guys are going to have the spawn protection, so I think we're just going to Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cheese it, and we're just gonna reserve everyone down to 1. Let them move first, and they're not moving at all. That's really weird. Yeah, I mean, we don't know that they're not 100-tonners yet. We only got sensor readings on the 1. According to the wiki, they do have some super heavies, but I think it might just be the super heavies that are in the game by default. So they didn't move and neither did we. I think with it being stew, I could still potentially take a shot with the artillery. No. Dang it. Well, I probably should have moved somebody else first and done a sensor lock. That's my fault. Darius, as usual, your sage wisdom is outstanding. All right, who on the team has got sensor lock? So we've got the Treb with sensor lock. We've got the Panther with sensor lock. So I think we move up the Panther. We're going to use a sensor lock on one of these boys, and they're both 70-tonners. Oh, man. That does not bode well for whatever we're going to run into. A bar guest. All right. Well, like I said, this might be a very short mission. What are you packing today? Oh, no. Oh, no. An Ultra AC-20 and an ERPPC. Oh, my goodness. Well, I guess we know not to let him get close. Let's see. I say that, but they're quads. They're probably going to be able to close the distance pretty quickly. For whatever reason, even though we sensor locked this Yahoo, I don't have line of sight, and I'm not sure why. But if they're going to give me a free turn to position my people, I'm not going to turn it down. Oh, you know what? It's probably this little hill right here, blocking my line of sight. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I think we just brace everybody up, make sure everybody's in the trees, minimize potential damage from the long-range shots that we are inevitably going to be taking. Oh, he's gonna sensor lock as well. Okay. Alright, I see you. Let's see. I think we move our vehicles away. How is the terrain here? Is this? Yeah, okay. So that's kind of like a defilade. So we could move our vehicles this direction to avoid that AC-20 and PPC. Which I think we're definitely going to have to do, at least early. And here comes another one. Oh my. So either he's packing something a little different than an AC-20, or that AC-20's got a lot more range than I thought it does. Oh, it's an LBX AC-20. Even better. Even better. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm in full pucker right now. Let's see. If we move up this way, try to block line of sight from that guy. Or at least reduce his accuracy a little bit. Fling a tag at him, and hopefully get a little bit of an accuracy bonus. Yeah, they brought a lot of big guns to this fight. Even if it's only 4 of them. That's a big 4. Then again, well, no, because even on the salvage, I think we're only gonna get 3 parts and we don't even get to pick which parts. I could go shot for shot with them on AC-20s, but the problem is a Hetzer, while it does have a big gun, is not really good at taking damage from big guns. So as much as I would like to move Game Master up and have him take shots, I think we need to distract him with some of our mechs first. Otherwise, he's gonna get one-shotted. Oh my. Okay, so we got a Goss of some description. You know, we had a discussion about hubris last stream, Whiplash, so you might want to be careful with that. So let's see, this guy's running a heavy, oh, it's a heavy Goss, alright. LBX-20, LBX-20, and Ultra AC-20, plus a PBC, so a lot of heavy-hitting long-range firepower, but not a lot of weapon systems individually. So yeah, I'm not sure, I mean, their armor's very heavy because they're 70-ton mechs, at least very heavy in comparison to what we've got, but if we can punch through, it would actually be very, very simple to take these guys down if we can remove their weapon systems. So it's not a complete disaster just yet. But we could get there fast if we're not careful. I definitely did not envision myself fighting Santa Claus today. I can say that. I think the first thing we do is take the shot with Stu, because if they're gonna give us a target like this, if they're gonna give us 3 targets clumped so close together, I think we have to take the shot. Unfortunately, because these guys are quads, they have high mobility, which also happens to give them very high evasion as well. It's also not giving me the option to shoot at the ground. Oh, that's just not on the hotbar. So I think we just do this and see what happens. I want to shoot at one of the mechs, but the accuracy chances are so low, I don't think it's worth it. I think we just shoot at the ground. I wish you wouldn't do that, so that I can actually see how much damage you did. So it looks like, yeah, we did a little bit of damage, just little ticks of damage to all 3. Yeah, I didn't think about that, you know, you gotta consider, if he's making a list and checking it twice, and he's gotta travel the whole inner sphere, yeah. He's just being prepared, that's all. Well, we've gotta keep the mobility up, otherwise these weapons are gonna absolutely destroy us. But I also don't like leaving the cover of the trees. Unfortunately, our lance is not heavy enough to tank the hits. So I think evasion is the only way we survive. And even then, I mean, you can see, like, I'm moving this Panther at its maximum sprint distance and we're only getting 3 evasion. So no matter what we do, these guys are going to out-evade us every turn. So maybe sticking to the tree line is the better bet. I'm not 100% sure. This is an interesting tactical dilemma for me. I was not expecting to deal with something like this. If we go LRMs, we get a little bit better accuracy chances. Or we could try sensor locking. Of the 3 of these guys on the ridge, actually, I think we shoot at this guy because he's already only got 4. So we lock him up, try to reduce his evasion as much as possible. We're about to see whether or not this Whitworth is going to be a competent brawler. I have a suspicion that the answer will be no. Also, what is in the way? I don't understand. It's like when I move here. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. Probably not very smart to get closer to all the AC-20s. But, as the kids say, YOLO. Which I forget, there was a comedian that made that joke. You think that all the people that used to say yellow died, or just stopped saying it? Let's see. I really don't like that you're gonna have a direct line of sight through one of our people, because as much as you have been missing shots lately, Game Master, I am afraid that you will hit our guy in the back. Okay. Okay. Off to a good start. We got the hit, and we got maximum damage. Alright. So we will continue the strategy as it stands. I'm gonna get this APC up close. We'll hit him with the tag. So I think that's how we're gonna beat these guys, as we have just got to keep as many accuracy buffs on a single target as we can and just burn them down. It's the only chance we've got. And they're pretty much doing the same thing to us. Which doesn't surprise me. That's what I would do. That's what I'm currently doing. Let's see. If we go with the SRMs, we're going to lose some accuracy. So I think we go for max accuracy early on. We want to try to get as many hits on this guy as we can. Unfortunately, we did miss on the Goss, which I was hoping we would at least hit with that for the stability damage. Oh, no. Well, that's no good. Not unexpected, but still unfortunate. So we'll move up, give him the full alpha. Hopefully we'll get some more stability damage on this guy before he moves. Alright, I see you. We exposed some structure. That's good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's the man himself or if that's another lance. I guess we're gonna find out shortly. I'm gonna guess that's the other lance, because that's 2 shots coming from that direction now. This was my fear as well, that this is only gonna be 1 lance, that this is only a single lance, and that there's another lance up here somewhere, and it looks like that may be the case. It's alright, we will try as hard as we can. Sounds like you hit something. It wasn't the Treb. What did you hit? Was it the Panther, or it was probably the Hollander that took that hit? Oh no. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, let's be honest. We're going down in a blaze of glory here. Oh my good Lord Jesus. There is one thing that I did not consider. Santa did promise to fix all of our damage. He didn't mention anything about replacing any weapon systems that we lost. So that's a thing that might come back to bite us, maybe. And something that I did not think about when I accepted his challenge. I mean, we might as well battle Lord. I mean, if we can take down one of these guys, I'll be very surprised. Let's see. The Panther, one of the few mechs that has not taken a buttload of damage already. Give him the business. I mean, we kind of already know what we're dealing with here, so let's do the other thing, and I'll see if we can sprint the galleon in this direction. Get some super high evasion, and maybe get some visuals on whatever's up here. I mean, we're still toast, but I'd like to know what we're getting shot by at least. I was not expecting this. Again, I'm very surprised. That's not a great chance to hit, but I'll take the shot. And you actually hit. How about that? Or at least you unsettled the guy, even if you didn't hit him. So yeah, we'll just continue to get as close as possible and put the hurt on him. No dice? Dang it. Dang it. I'm not gonna lie, chat. There's a part of me, like, I'm going over this in my head, and depending on how this goes, like, I might actually reload a save on this one if they don't give us back our weapon systems, because we have had to scrounge so freaking hard to get decent weapons on these mechs, and if we don't get those back, we might be slipping our way right back to where we were a couple of streams ago. We'll have to see. I don't know. I've never done this mission, so I don't know how it ends up if you lose. But I feel like we owe it to... I think we owe it to Santa to at least try to fight him as best we can. Even if we know it's not going to end well. Let's see. Treb, already missing an arm and a torso, and about to get the other arm shot off. I guess we tried it. I mean, we're not going to be able to do much with this Treb at this point. On account of the fact that there's not actually that much left of it at this point. So screw it. I guess we go Battlelord here as well. Fling as much as we can. Nice, we got one down. Wow, we took a leg down anyway. So that's good news. Did it not act? Well, you know what? It might not have knocked him down because it's a quad meg. Let me see. Is he in knockdown status? I don't think so. Yeah, he's not actually in knockdown status. I guess that's the advantage to a quad mech, is that losing one leg does not knock you down. My orders are drive over here really, really fast and shoot a tag at this guy. If you can. I don't know if you can. Oh no, you're still in the effective range. Okay, good. So yeah, hit him with everything. And we did knock him down. Okay, so we just had to push him over the threshold, it looks like. Wait, what? We actually convinced him to punch out? Okay. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Well, there goes the remaining weapon systems on the Treb. Yeah, I agree, Typhoon. You did good, Treb. You tried. Yeah, that was my other fear is I don't know if our pilots can actually die in this engagement. I hope the answer is no. Well, I guess we're gonna find out, because that didn't sound good. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Shit's I don't even know what to say to this. Like, I didn't think it was gonna work out in our favor, but I am almost sad to see how quickly this has gone from, well, we might get one, to, all right, one person's probably dead and the other person just got one-timed. Yeah, no, they have an entire lance on the high ground, and if they're packing the same amount of stuff in these guys as what they do down here in the valley with us, yeah, Gus, large lasers. Oh yeah, we're toast. But I told them I would give them 100%. So even if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down swinging. Let's see. I guess it doesn't really matter which one of these we target. We just take the shot. So, but yeah, so whoever was that was asking before about quads, this is what happens when the quads are heavy. You end up with mechs that are carrying some extremely heavy firepower. If they had been on the lighter side, then they would have been very, very fast and evasive, but maybe not as heavily armed. You know what? Again, we're gonna lose just about everybody, so let's just charge into the back. I want to see what Santa is running. So we got another Barghest, another Barghest. I think this might be Santa up here. Because we've got 3, 4 Barghests here. We've got another Lance down here. So yeah, I'm thinking this is Santa. I just want to know what he's piloting. I mean, I guess we could shoot this guy in the back. It's not going to do much, but why not? Can we? Yeah, we're not going to be able to get close enough to Santa with the Panther. That's alright. That is alright. We are going to take the shots. We are still going to continue to fight until the last round. Until the last round, chat. We're not going to give up on this one. Although I'm still not 100% sure why a dude with these kinds of mechs decided that. I mean, that's not true. I fully understand why he decided to take on a company like ours. And the answer is for a warm up, I think. Because that's about all we were to these guys, was a warm up. Let me see. I don't think we're gonna have good line of sight here, but let's try it anyway. See if I can get in here. Give me old AC-20 in the face. And we got a knockdown on the guy. Outstanding. Possible. It's very possible, Typhoon. He could be a secret Comstar agent out here collecting them phone bills. But I'm all paid up this month, so I don't know why he came after me. I mean, if the guy's knocked down, then I say we roll right up on him and do the same thing, and maybe we'll get lucky and get 2 of these guys. Get 2 of these guys to eject on us. Let's see. I'm trying to find. There we go. There's an angle. Screw it. Andy's panicked. Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. out of potentially 9 very, very tough mechs, if we can take 2 of them off the field, with what we're packing, I would say that's not bad. Yeah, right, exactly. That's why the clans still have bandits for target practice. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about being compared to bandits in this instance, but, I mean, if you're gonna get curb stomped by a lance that's insanely overpowered, I mean, at least it's Santa Claus. You're gonna be losing more than that here shortly. I wouldn't worry about the weapons. I would have a hand. Yeah, I was gonna say, I would have a hand on that ejection handle, because you might need it. So here's the thing, and, I talked about this, I think, last stream, or maybe it was the stream before, about lethality in this, in BTA. Because initially, I thought that the lethality setting that you set at the very beginning of a campaign had to do with whether or not your pilots died when they were taken out. And it turns out that that's not actually the case. The only thing that the lethality setting changes is whether or not your pilots will die when the head location is destroyed on a mech. So I want you to consider for just a moment that we have now potentially had 2 of our pilots killed, which means that if that happened, they were shooting at the head. So not only are we dealing with mechs that are hilariously outgunning us, we're also dealing with mechs that are actively going for headshots. Or at least that's the way it seems. We might be able to get up here and get eyes on Santa. Hell, maybe not. I was hoping we could get... Oh, no. And it's not even Santa, it's battle armor. It's battle armor, you guys. What the hell is this mission? So hold on, wait a minute. What is actually going on here? Because if you think about this logically, so you've already got the Caribou Lance, and we've got 25% down. That's the one guy that we panicked and he ejected. So that means that this lance is 4 units. I'm assuming that this lance is also 4 units. I guess this is the thing that I was talking about a while back, where even though they say, oh, it's a lance and then the target, sometimes the target has additional units with them as well. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Let's see. So the guy that we knocked down got back up, but that doesn't mean that we can't keep taking shots at him. Was it this guy? I think it was this guy. Let's give him the SRMs. Go for maximum damage. Nothing? Yeah. I think, for this one, we go with the shape charge. I'm genuinely curious now to see exactly how this is going to play out when we get to the end of the mission. Well, there we go. That's 2 down. And not only 2 down, but 1 that we actually genuinely destroyed and didn't just make the pilot eject. I hate to break this to you, Stu, but you're in a Hollander surrounded by a bunch of 70-ton Gauss rifles. You're gonna be having a bad day before it's over with, no matter what you do. This is effectively the equivalent of when you do a late-game cakewalk mission, and you take all of your heavy and assault mechs into, like, a half-skill mission to just stomp these people into submission. That's what it's like to be on the other side of that equation. So you're gonna fall down. Alright. Which basically means the next person that shoots at you is gonna kill you. Because they are out for blood. Yeah, so once again, that's a kill shot, which means they were actively aiming for the head location and hit it. That's 4 headshots. So in the dictionary, under the phrase, fuck around and find out, you will find a short clip of this mission. Wait, do we... There it is! There he is! Gunslinger. Commander. Kringle. There he is, the son of a bitch. I mean, yeah, it could be a picture of a tree as well. You know what? We might as well go for broke, right? We might as well just roll right up on this dude with a galleon and give him the business. It's gonna be the only chance we get to take a shot at this guy. Let's do it. That will probably be the only damage we put on this mech, but damn it, it's worth it. Let's have a look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at his gunslinger. I mean, just taking this guy on by ourselves probably would have been a handful. All those ER medium lasers, 2 Gauss rifles. Eh. He's beefy, that's for sure. Does it really matter which one of these we shoot at? I mean, we know how this ends. Might as well live dangerously. I don't know what to say. I feel like Game Master is once again in rare form, making these $1 million shots and one-timing 70-ton mechs with an AC-20. And yet, I mean, under any other circumstances, I would be very happy with that outcome. But given the fact that there are probably at least 4 dead bodies, 4 piles of hamburger coming back to the ship when this mission is over, and possibly more besides, I am astounded that that galleon stood up to that punishment. I was not expecting that at all. Good evening. I will pronounce this as best I can. Is it Vorleger or Vorleger? I'm not sure. You'll have to help me with that. Or if you want me to call you Nancy, I can call you that too. Whatever you like. Again, I'm genuinely surprised that this galleon has taken that many hits and has not gone down yet. So, I mean, I guess we gotta do the usual. We gotta roll up behind Santa and give him the old cornhole. And it ain't gonna do anything. But I said we'd go down swinging, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Do me a favor and hit your boss. Oh, they're not even taking shots. Oh, I guess they are. I was hoping I'd get lucky and one of them would, like, take a shot at the galleon and end up hitting Santa. I will try to remember that. Call me Antsy. Oh, Darius. Darius, you have no idea. This is a disaster, he says. Darius, I'm not sure you know the meaning of the word. Alright, so here we go. Old Santa said he was gonna make it right even if we lose. Let's see how true that statement was. Because to me, when he's out here for blood, taking headshots on our pilots, and shredding our entire lance, to me, that means he should be setting everything back to the way it was before we fought him. At this point, though, I feel like that would take actual magic. But let's see. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3 killed in action. 4 killed in action. 5 killed in action. In case you weren't quite sure. Now let's see. And I already said, based on what was happening, I'm going to reload if it doesn't just put everything back. But I had to take the mission just because it's the first time I've ever seen the event. Oh, thank you, Yang. Your advice is legendary. Our employer has repaired, replaced, and refitted our damaged and destroyed units. Our pilots are another story. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people died. A lot of people died. This I know. That's a lot of names to add to the memorial wall at one time. So let me see. Yeah, so those pilots are definitely dead. Let's have a look at the mech bay. Okay. So it looks like he wasn't lying. Yeah, they've replaced all of the equipment, everything exactly the way it was. So all of the equipment that we had in these mechs did in fact get replaced with like material, like the streaks, the ammo, all of that. Okay, well there you go. So again, I'm gonna reload because we just lost basically all of our pilots. But there you have it. With the Santa Claus mission, apparently, I mean, okay. I gotta ask, what do you guys want to do with it? Also, what the hell is going, did the commander die too? No, even though we got injured for whatever reason, it didn't, I'm gonna chalk that up to a bug. So you guys tell me what you want to do. Do we just continue as is and try to build up an entire new roster of pilots? Or do we reload? Because technically we didn't lose any equipment. All of our mechs got repaired, and all of our weapon systems and everything else got replaced free of charge. So we're not out any money, but we are down a half a dozen very experienced pilots. I'm inclined to agree, Snaky Sub, but I want to see what everybody says. Do we reload and save our pilots? Because again, I knew we were going to lose this fight. And I did it anyway because, again, it's the first time I've seen this event. I wanted to see what happened. Now that I know, I'm okay with the way it played out in one sense because we did get everything replaced. So again, materially, we lost nothing. But losing all of our best pilots, and not just in the hospital, like they are dead and gone. If they were just in the hospital, I would wait it out. But with them actually being dead, I mean, there's the part of me that says we should reload. But I will leave it up to you guys. Do you agree? Do we reload? Or do you just say, screw it, let's save the metal and replace the meat? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make the executive decision on this one, and I'm going to go ahead and reload. Because while that was fun and interesting, I think we lost a little too much on that one. So I'm curious if this is before we actually accepted the mission, or if this is right when we landed. So I don't think it's when we landed, because if I remember correctly, you can't actually save in a battle. But I could be wrong. That was definitely an interesting mission, though. Props to the BTA team for that one, because that's definitely going to be a standout in my mind for quite some time.